Hey guys, it's Evans here, and talking about Warhammer 40k Space Marines 2. A lot of you guys were debating whether or not to pick it up or not. For those people that are still unsure, here's everything you need to know. I could probably answer this question whether or not you should play this game, and the answer is yes, probably. Let's go ahead and get into it. Warhammer 40k Space Marines 2 came out on September 9th, 2024. Now, if you didn't hear about this game, then either you're living under a rock or you don't have a nerdy best friend that has ranted to you 24/7 about the Astartes, right? So, let me break it down for you. It is available on Xbox, currently available on Steam, available on PlayStation, and pretty much every platform you could possibly imagine that includes your mom's little Nokia flip phone. Including that, crossplay is also available. Here's a small clip of me playing with a couple of Xbox guys, and I actually don't see a difference when it comes to gameplay or skill.
Scanning. All specs tried.
Alright, I think we've actually reached the point of the video where we finally talk about the performance of the game, and to be honest, it's actually quite lacking. I spend most of my time either in loading screens, or crashes, or random just black screens that kind of kill your whole computer. I've looked at this issue, there are many problems, and Warhammer Space Marine 2 has a number of issues that are very common, not just for PC, but for other consoles as well. So honestly, when I say that this game struggles at times and is not very stable, I mean it's not very stable. This is actual footage of me in a multiplayer game. This is actually a quite common thing that happens where I'll be able to access my menu, I'll be able to hit escape, but for some reason, whenever I try to actually play the game, it just won't let me play the game. I can hear all the sounds, I can hear all the action, but nothing happens and I'm forced to just quit the game. Talking about performance as well, whenever you first load into a large map or area, especially in campaign or operations, everything has struggled to load in. You get a lot of stoppage, you get a lot of like pause frames, and it just takes you a while to actually, for the game to catch up to itself, it seems like. But boy, is this game fun. So we're going to go ahead and get into actual gameplay. You have three different types of game modes here. We have operations, we have the campaign, and then we have the Eternal War, which is your multiplayer. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and run through. We're going to go ahead and start and go over the different types of multiplayer stuff. Okay, so first thing you're going to do in every multiplayer is pick your class. You have Heavy, Sniper, Bulwark, Vanguard, Assault, and Tactical. And you can pause it and find out what each one of these means. But the first thing you got to do is figure out which class you're going to be doing in your multiplayer setting. And then after that, you can go ahead and customize your own character as well. The customization when it comes to your own unique Space Marine is really cool. They have a lot of unique options. I wish it was a little bit more intuitive, but however, once you kind of figure out the different types of menus and how you're going to do it, you can go ahead and pick your color, you can pick your little chapter, and then you have sections of chapters that you could, your heraldry that you can unlock. Now, the heraldry is really cool. Each one, you get like different things from that specific chapter, and you can go Chaos, or you could go the Imperium Man, and then there's even unknown ones with DLC. The only problem is that whenever you do get into multiplayer, you're either going to be your customized character that you built for the Imperium Man, or you're going to end up being the Heretic Legions, which you can't really customize. You can't change their armor. There's not much you can do to them other than really picking their color and picking their type of weapon, but you can't even customize the different types of weapons. But going into the weapons we're talking about next, the weapon customization is different for operations and it's different for the Eternal War. We're going to go over that right now, and it's really cool. Okay, for operations, the weapon customization is different for the campaign, and it's also different from multiplayer. In operations, you gain XP, and that allows you to customize your weapons. Your weapons will be upgraded as they go up, and then you will also have a separate shader, for lack of a better term, and that will allow you to upgrade your weapon, but also give it that appearance that you want and still being badass. So that way, I hate it whenever games make you have the gun look a certain way or armor a certain way, but you can't change the way it looks. Otherwise, you'd be taking a major power deficit, or you would just, you would just be underpowered just because it wasn't the next upgraded weapon that you got. Okay, next we have perks, and we have perks for your weapons that give you certain abilities and certain things, and then we also have perks for your personal self that usually benefit your squad. Some of them benefit just you. They're just stuff that you get with more XP. You should be pretty self-explanatory with the term perk. If you're not, go play play Call of Duty or something like that and figure it the fuck out. Okay, next we have the multiplayer, and the multiplayer guns are pretty self-explanatory. You just get XP. All it does is upgrade your look. It doesn't give you any more damage or anything like that other than the base stats of the weapon. Okay, campaign, it's pretty simple. It's also very similar, except for the fact that you can't really put skins on anything unless you get the DLC, which is kind of stinker in my opinion, but whatever. But other than that, the guns are really fun. They seem to have, you know, because you're facing against NPCs, you have a lot more power, a lot more boost, a lot more abilities, and you can pick any gun you want. You don't have to rely on a certain class. You can wield pretty much whatever weapon you want as long as you unlock them through the campaign as normal. Okay, let's talk about operations. Okay, operations is a little different because you work with, like I said, a 3-man squad online. Each person has their own class, and you can't double up, so one person would have to have tactical, one person would have to have bulwark like myself, and then another person would have to have a sniper or heavy. That being said, operations is a lot of fun. It's pretty much side-by-side campaigns along with the main campaign, except this one's online and you can do it co-op. You can do co-op on campaign as well. However, the difference is that, you know, you're playing as Titus. You're not playing as your own Space Marine with your own abilities and your own perks and weapons. So that is probably a plus. I really do like operations. They're a lot of fun. You get a lot of XP for them, and you get to do a lot of these crazy situations and stuff like that. So highly recommend operations if you get this game. Let's go ahead and talk about the campaign for a second. And oh man, is the campaign gorgeous, and oh man, is the campaign fun as well. Not only are you fighting hordes of monsters, you're actually Space Marine Titus from the last game. You're also kicking ass. You're just this big, beefy guy. The story's amazing. The acting's amazing. And the gameplay, as you can see, is fucking incredible. So, campaign, definitely play the campaign first. It's a ton of fun before you get into anything else. Another thing that's really cool is in the campaign, there's a lot of these little moments that you'll miss if you're not paying attention. You can really absorb them as characters talking about things that are relevant to the game, the story, or just things that are going on in the lore.
Akaran will not deceive us, Gadriel.
Then where did Dimitri and Titus serve previously? And why is he back in battle so soon after such grievous surgery?
And then there's also little hidden details as well. If you just kind of stick around, you can find all these little tiny stories that are unfolding around you. And you really do feel like a Space Marine that is in the Imperium, man, which is really cool.
Serve him only, for he is the knight of mankind.
So definitely recommend playing the campaign. It is a ton of fun, and can't recommend it enough. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the multiplayer. The multiplayer is a ton of fun. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do. You can, like I said, with operations, customize your own little class. You can customize your own Space Marine, and you can have your own chapter. They're entirely separate, so if you do want to customize your own Space Marine, you're going to have to do it twice if you want the same one, or you could do it differently. I kind of like that because then you can kind of be this PvP Space Marine that specializes in that, and then you could be this Space Marine that specializes in special operations, taking down Xenos and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Gameplay-wise, like I said, I think it's pretty balanced. I don't really see that big of a gap. I was kind of able to hop in on like level 1, 2, and keep up there with some of the, you know, skilled veterans. You just kind of figure out the game mechanics. But it is a ton of fun, so I highly recommend that you try out the multiplayer as well. To end my thoughts, should you be getting this game? Well, it's really up to you. I've had a lot of technical issues, even specific issues before I was even able to play the game that I won't talk about. But personally, the game is not stable. However, the gameplay well makes up for it. It is super fun. You can kind of create your own chapter, or you can create your own person from the Warhammer 40k lore. You finally, you know, like I said, you can have your own Space Marine. You can absolutely kick ass. You can do awesome animations. You really feel like this big hulking machine. So if you want to feel like a Space Marine, Space Marine 2 is definitely the game to do that. So it totally is up to you.